Right, no worries. As long as there's more games after, it's no problem.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Metalopolis. This is a best of one. Fortunately for Hapito, who is on the phone with me and not able to watch.
Uh, oh, there'll be a 10-second delay.
Yeah, you can watch it on the live stream, I guess, huh? But yeah, so I mean, it is going to be Halcyon versus Honeybear. This is a very, very high-powered matchup here. And, oh man, these guys are phenomenal players. Let's just go check their leagues here for just a moment. I believe they're both high-level masters. Yeah, Halcyon, high-level master, Honeybear, high-level master. This is going to be a beautiful game. Now, it is going to be Protoss versus Zerg. Halcyon, I think the only remaining Protoss in the tournament. Yes, he is. So, he has got to hold strong for the Protoss race here. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing a ZVZ in the finals, and he still has to go through his semifinal match to make it to the finals too. I mean, this is still pre-semifinal game here, so kind of interesting stuff, huh, brother?
Well, it's definitely players of higher caliber, so um, they're capable of so much more and so much multitasking. It's quite incredible.
Yeah,
The strategies they pick up along the way and the way they refine. They're just one league from grandmasters. I mean, it's just dedication separating them from reaching the best, you know. So they got some tricks up their sleeves.
absolutely. Well said. Now look at this pylon placement here for Halcyon. What do you think about that?
It looks like a Forge Fast Expand, or it could be. It's too early to tell. It could be any number of things. There we go. See that Forge going down.
Yep.
So Forge Fast Expand, which is like the new standard against Zerg, because Zerg is gonna expand. So why shouldn't you? You know,
Right.
keep up in economy, keep up in macro, and when that Nexus comes up and the economy kicks in for Protoss, it's just really hard to keep up with the Protoss at that point. Protoss 2 base is brutal sometimes, especially at this level of play. Like I'm already favoring Protoss to win
Yeah.
just by its opening.
And notice what he's doing here. He is going to go ahead and toss down a pylon behind that mineral line, and there goes the photon cannon. Still has his probe in play here. And Honeybear not pulling any probes to deal with this. He's just now getting down his spawning pool, so this could be interesting. I mean, he may be able to um, deny this expand.
Oh, as the specificity. Oh man, that's brutal. That hatch is not gonna live.
Honeybear's like crap. Yeah,
No,
because and what you have to do, sorry, to hold this stuff off is to always, always, always send your second overlord right over top of where your expand is going to be. That way you don't have to run a drone down there to see if they're going to toss down a pylon. That way you can just grab 3 drones, send them over immediately. And notice what Honeybear is doing. He's going to re-expand here. But notice what Halcyon's going to do as well. Still going to be pesky here. He's got a pylon going
oh,
down. However, there are Zerglings on the field, and it is now time for that to be cleaned up. So Honeybear should be in pretty decent shape. I imagine he'll go ahead and take his third at his natural location here in just a little bit.
man, that's really aggressive, but it really paid off considering the way Zerg opened. I mean, he can't deny that cannon there, and if he didn't get those Zerglings at this time, I mean, he wouldn't be able to hold that third either.
That's
So
true.
it's just better opening. Not to say better opening, but counter open to the Zerg, and it's just we're looking really bad for him. I mean, I've one base Zerg is not going to be nowhere near effective, especially after that last patch.
Right. Yep.
So
Brutal. Wow. Is that a tight wall off? It looks like it is. I think it is actually. Or can he
uh,
slide through that little side there? I can't tell.
or beneath the cybernetics core into
Maybe.
the supply depot. Yeah, he could
It's
totally.
tight. Nope. It's tight.
It's solid.
Yep.
There's no way.
He's going to have to take out his own pylon here, but looks like he is going to wait for just a moment.
Looks like a tower defense, just making a little maze for the Zerglings
Yeah.
then he sees the wall, and he's just like, "Oh man, are you serious?"
So Halcyon actually doing a little bit of too much work there on that wall off. I think all he needed to do was put that cybernetics core to the left one square, and he would have been just fine. But wow, lucky break there, I think, for Halcyon. What do you think?
Um,
I mean, for Honeybear, not Halcyon.
he's really distraught. Like now, this is getting deeper and deeper into his head as the game prolongs. He's just like, I've been denied my nat. He's just solidly just protected at his front. It, uh, it's just, it's these small things that like get to you at the end.
Right. Let's check the
So,
units tab and see where these guys are at. Now notice Honeybear up to 33 drones. He just put down a couple buildings, it looks like 33 to 32, so fairly even economically here. However, Halcyon did have to waste his pylon there. That's going to slow him down a little bit. He's going to be rebuilding a pylon here in his mineral line. Does have another photon cannon down. Warp gate tech about to complete. So I mean, he looks like he got himself back on track here, and I have to say the same thing for Honeybear at this point. I mean, yeah, that was a brutal cannon rush at his natural, and but he's made this happen. Now the trouble for him is going to be where his units are going to be so split up as they're reinforcing. So I mean, like basically Halcyon can pick a base, and Honeybear will have to reinforce from two sides. And that can really play a big factor, I think, against Protoss.
oh, definitely. It's just such a huge gap between his bases. The best course. Oh, and that Stargate. Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
His best course of action from this point would be to make a creep highway between the bases to alleviate this issue because mid to late game, if he doesn't, it's going to cost him unless he gets his nat up before that. But
Oh,
at the,
Hapito. It is such wonderful advice. I mean, creep spread between bases is so key as Zerg, and it's strange to see Honeybear, I mean, a guy of this level of play, not doing that. And I think that really what we're seeing here is that Halcyon has thrown him off his game a little bit. Wouldn't you
right,
agree?
right. Of course, man. It's starting to reflect in his game, the way those little things have been like just the small nuances of these cannon rushes and just what he's seen so far from the Protoss.
Right. But pretty solid openers. I mean, I'm still sitting here on the units tab. I know I shouldn't do that. Everybody likes to see the production tab, but I mean, definitely still very even economies here. There goes the third. Looks like Honeybear is going to clean up finally there and take his retake the natural, I should say. Not often you get to retake your natural, right?
Oh, that depends how many if the army rolls on in and
Right.
decides. Oh, but that void ray is just working right now.
Yep.
So this is just brutal right now, and just totally catching the Zerg off guard. Considering, he had his Evo chambers up, but he's just trying to gain his economy back, trying to keep up with the Protoss, and now the Protoss is forcing him to make observers and just go to a different tech path than what maybe the Zerg originally wanted to do.
Right. Yeah, he really had to overcommit to spore crawlers there. I mean, look at that. He's got 4 down. He did have number 5, but it got sniped. And so Halcyon really doing a great job, getting himself back in this game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would understand you throw down 6, so you ensure at least 2 get up, but don't let all 6 of them finish up because that's extra resources you could have spent on other things that have been more important. So, but there's that counterattack, but it's just that choke is so solid right now. It's not gonna work right now for Zerg.
I agree. Yep, and so I mean, look, these Phoenix going to be super pesky. They do have their DPS Void Ray there, going to be charging up on the Evo chamber. These guys poking in there to see what's going on, and oh man, Halcyon just being as pesky as possible with these air units and doing a great job of it.
Oh man. So he does have 2 Evo chambers, so it's not a big deal currently, but he has no anti-air, so it's just really it's so annoying.
Yeah.
It gets you into this mindset. It's like, oh my god, it throws you off. It makes you make bad decisions, and that's the Protoss goal right now. That's his main goal. If I could just make him do one mistake that'll cost him the game, I win.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really well said. Now look at this tech switch here by Honeybear. He is getting out Mutalisks of all things, especially. This is, it's a little strange. I think it's a good choice at this point. It'll definitely be able to handle the Void Rays, but with so many Phoenix on the field, I don't know, man. Those Phoenix, they can kite all day long, and with the kind of micro skills that Halcyon has, I think I would be a little bit afraid to be putting out those mutas. So I mean, Honeybear's got to be super confident with his Mutalisk play here.
It seems like it. I mean, you're right. It is just the most strangest thing. Phoenix is just you can out micro muta with one Phoenix all day, every day,
Right.
and it's just maybe for defense or with the spore crawlers, but uh, as long as he doesn't over invest into the mutas, I think he should be fine.
Right.
I feel like he should have made like a couple queens more, like two queens on each base could fairly well defend any any of those Phoenix attacks. However, um, again, it's too early to tell. Both players are just trying to get their economy up, and Protoss is just harassing him to death.
Yeah.
And that's his goal.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job. Now he is taking his third. He's going to be walling this off pretty solid here. He's got a couple cannons there at the backside of his base, but this, like you say, the harass continuing. And here comes Halcyon. He's scouting around. Does see this movement here. These roaches cruising out across the map. Looks like he's probably going to be able to pick a couple of these off with his Phoenix if he wants. Maybe not. Doesn't want to apparently. There goes one. Those roaches do take a lot of damage, though. They can sure take a beating.
I guess he was just trying to see his pattern of attack. Where is he going? What does he want to do? Do I need to engage right now? But these roaches just walking right in,
Yeah,
uncontested.
Halcyon had his units up defending the wall at the natural, and so he actually became out of position as Honeybear decided, let's go straight for the natural,
Oh man,
straight for the main, and he is just wrecking havoc here in the
he's
main
working.
right
Those roaches are working.
now. Yeah, man.
This is the kind of break Zerg needs right now because this whole game he's just been, trying to stay alive, just to fight back, just to defend. He's been in a defensive position, so this could really put him back up.
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful play so far from both of these guys, though. It looks like he did finally hold that off, but he is definitely behind if you check units lost. Honeybear has lost more, but if you look at units, 44 probes right now. He's going to have to get his economy back online. I mean, that's a big economic loss there.
Mm.
And Halcyon, I mean, losing a couple pylons. His unit production is down at this point. He's going to try and make something happen with these Phoenix. Looks like he's going to try and keep some pressure on, which I think is a good idea. He did scout this gold from Honeybear, so that was good intel there. But Honeybear going to be sending out more roaches, saying, you know what, that attack went really well. I think I'll retry.
I think he needs to attack his third. I mean, just
And
if he can catch his army out of his position.
Exactly what he's doing. Now, this time Halcyon did get in position a little bit faster, so this attack not going quite as well for Honeybear this time, but he is re-macroing an army as quickly as he can. Behind this, you can see his food count just skyrocketing, and he is producing units like crazy. Looks like he is going to try and keep the pressure on Halcyon. I think this is exactly what he needs to do to get himself into a winning position here.
What are the upgrades on the Zerg and on the Protoss?
On the Protoss, we've got +1/+1 on those ground units, and nothing on the air units. So looking pretty solid. Looks like we do have some DTs. I think this is a nice tech switch here from Halcyon. If he can make something happen here. Now the trouble is he can't really go up into the third, but he can deny this gold expand, that's actually big. And so there goes the expand. He's going to commit 3 DTs to this gold expand. Perfect play there. We've got 4 of them cruising down here. Oh, 5. Cruising down to the third here. Going to work on the spore crawlers, I'm guessing, real quick. And the queen first. Not a bad idea. Looks like these DTs are going to get cleaned up, though, pretty quick. So that was actually a pretty hefty loss there from Halcyon. And he was poking around with his Phoenix as well.
Well, at this point, I mean, the Protoss is on 3 bases, so it's not a heavy loss on him. He could just make more. And I think DTs at this point are not, a unit where you try to commit to, but it's more like a prevention of the Zerg expanding.
Yeah,
And that's all he needs. That's all he needs to do. Just deny the Zerg bases and just keep up with him.
Yep, and he did exactly that. So I mean, well played. I think that's a great point. Looks like this attack here from Honeybear up at the third. Going to go pretty well here for just a moment. Oh, nice. Force field splitting that army. Looks like Honeybear now going to be in a little bit of trouble, but the food count for Honeybear are still extremely high. So, I mean, he's got a lot of units here. Look at all these roaches still alive. Those reinforcing roaches joining the fight there. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Those roaches are just tanks, man.
Yeah, they really are. They've got quite a few upgrades. +2/+2 on the Hydras. And
Oh, that's making all the difference right now for him.
It absolutely is. And now Halcyon, for the first time in a good while, though, does have a food advantage here, an army advantage. However, Honeybear going to be remedying that situation immediately, already surpassing his opponent yet again, going to be macroing up like crazy. He does have a macro hatch here in his main, and going to be securing a fourth again and the gold at the same time. Now, Halcyon does have a DT cruising around here, wants to check this out. Got to make sure that his opponent can't expand, and he's going to try and secure a fourth of his own. So this DT doing good scouting here. Probably, I don't know if he'll be able to deny it. Maybe he will. Looks like he is.
So right now it's just, we've entered the late game pretty much. And now it's all like decision making, because, you know, what you just need to focus on what you need to do. You need to have a plan of attack, and you need to execute to win it, because at this point, your opponent and yourself are just available to pretty much all the tech structures you need, and so it's just coming down to that one big battle we're gonna see.
Yep. Yeah, it's a beautiful play so far from both of these players, but Honeybear about to be maxed out again with this Roach Hydra army. +2/+2 still on these guys, but my goodness, is this ever a strong force here from Honeybear? And looks like Halcyon, I mean, he's getting out a lot of stalkers here. He really has to do that, but I do like his tech switch here into the high temps and archons.
And researching storm too. It's gonna be huge if he could pull off some good storms. But I feel that his fourth is a little late. Should have dropped that a little sooner. But though we can't tell right now if it's gonna hurt him or on his tardiness on that. But the Zerg is just remacroing like a monster.
Absolutely, and he's going, I mean, you notice now that he's going to be floating a lot of minerals, floating a lot of gas. He does have his gold saturated pretty heavily at this point, and pretty much going unchecked there. We do have some zealots going to be cruising in here. Looks like they're going to, I don't know exactly what they're going to accomplish, but let's take a look underneath these overlords. They are going to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, looks like.
I mean, yeah, it didn't make sense. Like it's already 25 minutes into the game. That base was the first one to go up after his main, so it should have been mined out. You know, you should be aware of these things.
Right. Now he did snipe that expand there, the natural with the DT.
So that is huge.
I think those zealots were kind of the diversionary tactic, which that actually makes sense to me now that I look back, but. This warp prism over here in the corner going unchecked. I think he's doing a pretty decent job trying to buy himself some time. And you notice that he is getting up a fairly large force now. But, oh man, these storms is what it's going to come down to.
And he could just make them into archons just immediately after, which is going to be huge.
Yep. There's a storm. 2 storms going down. And 3, 4... Nice storming there. It looks like he is going to be able to clean that
man.
up.
Ooh. Those are definitely beautiful storms. Really made the difference in this engagement.
Absolutely. Now, Honeybear, though, noticed that he is able to re-macro his army extremely quickly. That is partially because those roaches do take 2 food, but, I mean, my goodness, Halcyon doing a lot of work here to hold on, and I think that he's, I mean, since he is still on 2 solid mining base, I mean, he's definitely got a decent chance here, but he has got to secure a third, I think, at this point to really stay in it. This gold expand for Halcyon is just paying off in a big way here. Looks like we're going to see some broodlords here in just a little while as well. We do have some corruptors on the field.
Can't lose them there. Just getting close to them, to the stalkers. Oh, and another storm. It's just, this is just not looking good for Zerg. He needs to saturate that fourth, I mean, or fifth immediately.
Yeah.
He needs to keep his economy going and non-stopping. Um, that'll really end it for him. He's been man, but he's been playing like a total champ. He's been not missing an inject. He's been macroing behind all attacks. He's working. He's really trying, and it's impressive to see considering from the initial cannon rush that we saw, which put him behind, how he's been able to maintain, this game for this long. So you could see his amazing quality of play just coming out, just really coming out in this game. Like it's really down to the wire here. Anything can
Absolutely.
happen.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, this can go either way. It will come down to whether a player, I think, makes a big mistake, or a player just finds a little, one small thing that they can exploit of their opponent. And so it will come down to who's going to find those things first or make a mistake first. But I do like that Halcyon has secured another base here. Um,
No, the two bases,
yeah, and he
and
needs to get it saturated, I think. But these DTs sure doing a lot of denying here. Looks like they're going to try and take down this hatch. Not going to happen before they get absolutely obliterated by roaches, but it was worth a good try. Now the trouble is Honeybear is going to have that entire side of the map here. I mean, Halcyon really has got to get something together, I think.
and Halcyon knows he's working with those phoenixes. He's sending them around the map. He's trying to gain any bit of knowledge, any piece of information that is useful for him right now.
Yep. This poor Stalker is going to be blinking over here. Going to try and get the sniper on the gold. Are they going to do it? Oh, it's going to be so close. 84 HP left.
That was seriously impressive. That was so cool.
Yeah, not bad at all. And here comes, looks like a DT and 3 Zealots. These guys should be able to take down this expand here at the gold. So they're going to deny the mining here at the gold for just a moment, which is perfect, perfect, perfect. Buying himself some time. Does have this DT over here going to try and deny this other hatchery. DT's
Solid
cruising
play.
up here. Oh my goodness. Wow, Honeybear
Oh,
really
man.
doing a lot of work here, man. This is awesome stuff.
Halcyon just working right now. He really wants to win. You could just tell.
Oh, a little bit of manner there. That's
boy.
okay, but look at all these broodlords now. This is where Halcyon really is going to have trouble, is dealing with these broods.
This is what it's gonna come down to, yeah.
I mean, he's so heavy on stalkers, which is good in some ways, but I don't know, man. I mean, those broodlords, if they're microed correctly, they can keep themselves pretty safe even against those stalkers. So this is going to be tough. What can I say?
Like I said, it's gonna come down to that one engagement, and whoever has the better micro
Yep.
is gonna come out on top.
And Honeybear going to be sending his broodlords forward at this point, looking to get these guys in position here right away. Oh, this is scary, scary force here from Honeybear. Both of these guys have essentially a maxed out army at this point. A lot of roaches here. Oh, yeah, Phoenix saying, great, nobody can attack me.
Oh, man, that's that one Phoenix, man, is gonna kill all those brood lords.
Yeah. He's like, happy day, I'm safe.
And what I see this is doing is he's forcing the engagement, like for the Protoss, he's forcing it in a way that he wants to, like, because he has no anti-air. Honeybear, he's just he's ground only, and oh, beautiful. He just Protoss has the high ground, and it's just making the difference right now.
Yeah. It looks like Honeybear is going to clean this up. Unfortunately for Halcyon, he's not going to be able to secure this gold. Look at how many broodlords lived through that. Yeah, they're softened up pretty good here, but my goodness. A lot of broods still on the field is scary, 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 especially with this amount of roaches. +3, or no, +2/+2 still. Actually, he hasn't gone for +3/+3 yet. Kind of interesting, but this expand about to go down for Halcyon, and Halcyon in dire straits at this point.
Oh man, and I noticed before, I don't know if it's true now, but the Protoss was sitting on 2 attack but 1 armor only. which if he still does, that was the big key factor in
Right.
that engagement.
And we're kind of in a base trade situation in a lot of ways here. Notice what Halcyon's doing. He's denied all of those mining bases down at the bottom, which is good stuff. He does still have one mining base here of his own up at the top. But I don't know. This force here from Honeybear is so large. It looks like he is going to cruise up here to the high ground. Oh my goodness. Halcyon may end up losing this if
Oh
Honeybear
man.
goes in here and just takes this expand out. I think it's going to be game.
And you know what happened there is just that Honeybear was making a great decision in pulling back. I mean, he damaged his economy really, really intensely, and I don't know why Halcyon just decided to engage with that little force, knowing that Zerg is macroing really hard.
Yeah.
Oh, but these Broodlords are all gonna go down.
Almost, yeah. 3 of them living there. Halcyon still trying to put in the work here, but he is just not doing any mining at this point, and that is just going to be brutal for him here in the future. He can't bring any more units. Ah, that's just so tough.
That's it. This is game.
Yeah. Yeah, Void Rays are about your only answer as Protoss once they get broods out on the field like that. But beautiful game. I mean, my goodness, Halcyon, what a phenomenal player that guy is. We are definitely going to be missing him in the remainder of this tournament, but congrats to Honeybear. Great player as well, and going to be moving into the semifinal match of the evening. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We will see you guys in our semifinal match.